What kind of animal would have vertebrae as tall as a man, with a snout perfectly designed to catch fish? Such an animal whose appearance has changed so much, you think it was a shapeshifter. An animal that has caused so much scientific controversy and debate throughout the century. Luckily for us, we are now able to piece together a much better picture of this animal in modern day than when it was first discovered back in 1912. This animal is Spinosaurus. Our story starts in 1912, specifically in the Bahariya Oasis in Egypt. Richard Markgraf, fossil collector financed by Ernest Stromer, a German paleontologist, originally discovered the incomplete remains of a dinosaur skeleton. The fossil remains were then taken back to the Deutsches Museum in Munich. The specimen intrigued Stromer with its crocodile-like teeth, strange lower jaw, and 6-foot-tall spine vertebrae. From what he could gather, the animal was most likely larger than the recently discovered American Tyrannosaurus. He would later publish a paper on the specimen, giving it the name Spinosaurus aegypticus in 1915. The name Spinosaurus translates to spine lizard in Greek, labeled after the animal's eye-catching feature. The fossils remained safe at the museum until the start of World War II. Stromer was a loud critic of the rising popularity of the National Socialist German Workers' Party, and this would cause major opposition in his career. During the war, Stromer's fossils were displayed in the Bavarian State Collection of Fossils in Munich, right in the heart of the British Royal Navy's bombing runs. Stromer pleaded to Karl Berlin, the museum director, to move all of the fossils into a safe place until the bombing ceased. Berlin, however, was a major supporter of the German Workers' Party and was displeased at Stromer's previous criticisms, so he ultimately refused to relocate the fossils, convinced that the bombers wouldn't reach Munich. Unfortunately for Stromer and the fossils, the RAF reached Munich, executing a bombing raid that lasted from April 24th to the 25th of 1944. The raid cost the lives of hundreds, as well as Stromer's fossil collection, which included not just Spinosaurus, but also Egyptosaurus, Bahariosaurus, and Carcharodontosaurus, the Spinosaurus and Egyptosaurus being the only fossils of their kind. Due to the bombings, Stromer's African dinosaurs would become lost to time, fading into obscurity aside from the occasional appearance in children's books. Expeditions to the Bahariya Oasis were conducted ever since to try and recover the lost Spinosaurus, with little success. In the late 20th century, partial specimens had been recovered in other places such as Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia, but these specimens weren't enough to learn more about the species. Similar species to Spinosaurus were later discovered, such as Baryonyx found in England in 1983. The discovery of Baryonyx revealed a whole new subgenre of theropod dinosaur, one specialized for hunting fish like a crocodile. Due to Baryonyx's nearly complete skeleton, paleontologists would use it as a basis for reconstructing later depictions of Spinosaurus. This influenced Spinosaurus' most popular and famous appearance to date. For the third installment in the Jurassic Park franchise, the production team decided to switch the series icon Tyrannosaurus for a much larger theropod, ultimately settling on Spinosaurus. As the film's paleontology consultant Jack Horner stated,
"This time we wanted something that was actually going to replace T-Rex, and so we went after a dinosaur that literally could cause an extinction on the island."
The marketing of the film reflected this, as the toys, posters, and even napkins depicted Spinosaurus as a powerhoused apex predator capable of going toe-to-toe with Tyrannosaurus rex. The film itself depicted the animal snapping the neck of the T-Rex with ease and being able to chase a group of humans throughout miles and miles of remote jungle. In real life, Spinosaurus wouldn't have been able to fight Tyrannosaurus, mostly due to the fact that they lived 28 million years apart. With that being said, however, Spinosaurus did live with another dinosaur that filled a similar niche to T-Rex in Cretaceous North Africa. That animal goes by Carcharodontosaurus. While Spinosaurus was originally thought to be the only theropod in Cretaceous North Africa, this was to change in 1927 with the discovery of sharp teeth shaped like a shark's in Algeria. Just like Spinosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus was named by Ernest Stromer in 1931, with a name that is taken from the shark genus Carcharodon, which includes the great white shark. While it might be shocking to learn that two giant superpredators coexisted in the same time and place, paleontologists believe that both animals served niches so drastically different that it was rare for them to compete with each other. In 2005, a snout specimen was recovered from fossil beds in Morocco. This find revealed that the nostrils of Spinosaurus were higher up than other spinosaurs, further connecting Spinosaurus to a pescivore lifestyle. It's possible that the animal might have slowly waded in the water like a modern-day heron, waiting for fish to pass by before striking at record speed. It may have also used its large finger claws to tear open the flesh of fish in a similar manner to bears. This contrasts with Carcharodontosaurus' lifestyle, which its physiology seems to hint at an animal designed for hunting down landlocked prey, potentially large sauropods like Egyptosaurus. It is more than likely that if these animals were to fight, it would have been a territorial dispute rather than for food. Seemingly as a stroke of luck, Spinosaurus' debut into pop culture coincided with a major turning point in what we now know about the species. In 2008, a paleontologist, Nizar Abraham, discovered Spinosaurus bones with the help of a fossil hunter. Over the next 15 years, many more findings would come from this discovery, most infamously in 2014, when our perspective on Spinosaurus would change forever. When Abraham and his team reassembled the bones into a partial skeleton, they discovered that Spinosaurus had shorter hind limbs than previously assumed. Running the skeleton through a computer model, Abraham's team hypothesized that Spinosaurus wouldn't have been able to walk bipedally and instead walked on all fours like a gorilla, using its knuckles to push itself forward. The animal's short hind legs would have allowed it to be more hydrodynamic, similar to how hippos and crocodiles have short limbs. Similar to those creatures, Abraham's team also theorized that Spinosaurus would have had webbed hands and feet as well. This would suggest a semi- or fully aquatic lifestyle. This caused debate in both the scientific community and general dinosaur enthusiasts, as some believe the findings to be absurd. The walking on knuckles hypothesis drew criticism immediately, as it was hard to believe an animal the size of Spinosaurus would have been able to support its weight on its knuckles. Nowadays, it's suggested that Spinosaurus would have been bipedal, albeit a rather slow walker. Spinosaurus's aquatic ability was also put into question, as researcher Donald Henderson suggested that Spinosaurus would have been too buoyant to dive and too unstable to float. Returning to the dig site, Abraham and his team continued on their search to find more specimens. Their search was rewarded in late 2019 when they discovered Spinosaurus tail bones. The nearly complete tail specimen revealed something no one had expected. Spinosaurus seemed to have been equipped with a newt-like paddle tail, very evident of an animal with an aquatic lifestyle. They conducted experiments that showcased that this tail was capable of propelling Spinosaurus through the water much more effectively than the average dinosaur tail. The use of the tail is still for debate, as it has been suggested by people like Paul Sereno that the animal may have used its tail for display instead of locomotion, similar to how it's been theorized that Spinosaurus' tall vertebrae was also for display. Whatever the case may be, we know that whatever attributes Spinosaurus had, they sure must have helped it become successful, as the species was able to survive for 5 million years. However, this was not to last. Around 94 million years ago, the Cenomanian and Turonian boundary event displayed worldwide greenhouse conditions, causing sea levels to rise, global warming, and an increase in atmospheric CO2. The physiology of Spinosaurus was not adapted to these conditions, which would cause them to eventually die out, alongside a lot of its contemporaries. Just like that, the mighty reign of the great Heron of Africa fell. Goodbye, Spinosaurus. We hardly knew you.